They're trying to get me to go into the bars. It's 7 a.m. Good morning from Bucharest, Romania. I just got off a night bus from Chisinau, Moldova, after wrapping up a 3.5-week trip around Ukraine that, especially over the past week, involved some very fast-paced travel, and I believe this is a good opportunity for me to discuss the concept of fast-paced budget travel, as I like to call it. I've had a fair amount of experience in that over the past few years as I've been based in Bulgaria and traveling around the Balkans, both for work reasons and because of time constraints. Very often I find myself moving very quickly, which I've done in the Balkans, I've done in Eastern Europe, I've done in the Caucasus, I've done around Turkey, in a bunch of places. I find myself with that kind of travel style and that kind of lifestyle, and it's not for everyone, but there's certainly benefits, which include being able to see a lot more than you expected to see and being able to get a lot more travel and activity out of your trips. I'm going to talk about a couple principles that are very important in this concept of fast-paced budget travel, and I'm going to prelude that with just a little bit more about myself and this channel. I'm planning on expanding this channel to include travel tips and interviews with travelers and more information about travel in general, as it's such an important part of my life and it's something that I've learned a lot about over the past few years. So I'd like to start sharing that with you and being of more use to you in that regard. So if you indeed like these videos about travel, not just the ones in which I talk about places, then please leave comments under the videos and leave likes so I know to make more of them. Now, as for two very important principles within this concept of fast-paced budget travel, here they are. One is being aware of your options. Two is being aware of your priorities. Over the past week, I have had about a 6-day span that I'm going to wrap up today to get from northeastern Ukraine to Sofia, Bulgaria. I was in Kharkiv, Ukraine, which is within 25 miles of the Russian border and is not very close to Bulgaria. And there are a bunch of stops that I wanted to make on the way from Kharkiv to Sofia. And frankly, I did not have time to make them all. So it was a matter of priorities and a matter of being aware of which places I can hit based on bus schedules, train schedules, and so on. So my first stop after Kharkiv was Dnipropetrovsk, or Dnipro, Ukraine, which is just south of there, and it's on the way down to Odessa, where I was going to be heading out of Ukraine. So I took a night train from Kharkiv to Dnipro, which is something that I make use of a lot. Night trains and night buses. They're not for the faint of heart. They tend not to be very comfortable, although with night trains you can at least get beds. In some places like Ukraine, it's very cheap even to get a night train compartment with a bed. So I took that train down to Dnipropetrovsk, got there in the middle of the night, found a lounge at the train station, worked there, slept there a little. Then during the day I had to decide, because the train station's not in the center of the city and the city's pretty spread out, what I'm going to do. I didn't have time to... No thank you, I'm in the middle of it. What is it? Is it entertaining?
Yeah.
Last time a bear popped into my
Hello,
video,
mate.
so
Where you come from?
I'm from the US.
US.
Where are you from?
Oh, I come from here. Hello, US. You are.
You
right
can
now.
say hi to Europe as
Hi
well.
there.
You could say hi to
You're-
Africa.
You are live? No.
You could say hi to Asia.
Hi there.
So what's up?
Hi there, user. What's
What-
up? I have a day, but I live on the street. I don't want money. You can buy for me something to eat. I'm very hungry. Please.
Here's the thing. I'm talking about budget travel right now. And
That-
one of the
I'm
ways...
not from this city.
Which city are you from?
I'm from Focșani. You are live in Romania?
I like Romania. I have heritage from Romania.
Oh, really?
And this may sound a little rough and tough, but when I'm on a budget, I need to stick to the budget. So I'm not going around buying people lunch. It's just the fact of the matter. But if I grow a business, then I could employ you, and you could buy yourself and other people lunch.
Look, I haven't document to work, and I live. They kick me out from the rent, and I don't know what to do to go back to my city.
Look, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm gonna have to continue on with this. Okay? I do, and I need to make use of that money. I'm on a strict budget right now. But I wish you luck, and if I can grow myself financially and grow my business, then I can employ people. So maybe you should wish me luck too. Anyway, back to business here, overlooking the river, whatever it is, and about to enter the old town here in Bucharest. Yeah, so a priority of mine was to see this old Soviet aerospace manufacturing plant that's in Dnipropetrovsk that has come up in the current North Korea nuclear weapons debate. So I hit that. I skipped seeing the city center with the river and parks and other stuff of Dnipropetrovsk. Dnipropetrovsk is known as an industrial city, so I went straight to the industrial core. Then I took a night train to Odessa. It was cold, it wasn't comfortable, but I made do, and it was extremely cheap. It was like cross on a red. This is Eastern Europe. It was like $4 or $5 for an 11-hour night train. Now, the trains in Eastern Europe, with the exception of some, tend to be very slow. It's something to be aware of, and it's difficult to move fast pace when you are dealing with slow transport. But it's still very doable, especially if you make use of all hours of the day. So if you sleep on the train or on the bus, then you tend to be able to get a whole lot more out of your day. Granted, you need some energy during the day, but if you're traveling and you're enjoying it and you're passionate about what you're doing and you're seeing, then you should come up with the adrenaline to be able to manage a day after a night train or a night bus. I can manage several days in a row after night trains or night bus. Like today, got off the bus at 6 a.m. or before 6:30 a.m. Got a cup of tea, not even coffee, and here I am. Here we go, walking around the old town in Bucharest, Romania. After I hit Dnipro, I hit Odessa. I had to stop and basically work for an entire day to crank out a long article, which I did, and then I did a little bit of socializing and sightseeing and work over the following night and morning, although hello. People are very friendly here. It's also, I should mention, still party hour. It's Sunday morning, it's about 7 a.m. But in the old town in Bucharest, Romania, they're still going at it. So you'll see drunks on the streets, you'll see all kinds of stuff. People coming out of the bars. What's your name?
Vicky.
You're very lovely.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
Romania.
Where in Romania? Anyway, so like I mentioned, welcome to the old town on a Sunday morning. Sorry for these interruptions, but maybe you find them entertaining. After the bear popped up in my video in Kiev, some people said that was the best part of the video. So I guess I'll try to embrace some of the fun. Boy, it's loud here. They're still partying. They're still trying to get me to go into the they're trying to get me to go into the bars. It's 7 a.m. and it's a freaking mess, I would say. Trash truck and all. This is Bucharest, or at least the old town. So after Odessa, I shouldn't say after. While I was in Odessa, I came to realize again that I was in a huge time crunch. And this got back down to priorities because I had... Sorry, my nose is running. I had penciled in several locations that I wanted to hit on the way back from Kharkiv. And one was Chisinau, Moldova. Another is Iași in northern Romania, or for that matter, just that region. It's called the Moldavia region. I have family heritage from that region. Now, I've been to both Chisinau and Iași before. So they weren't huge priorities. Well, for that matter, I've been to most of these cities before. I've been to Bucharest before. But I was flexible. Flexibility is very key. So when I was arriving in Chisinau from Odessa, I was hoping to get a bus or a train to Iași. I didn't even look for a train. I just searched for buses. And there were none last night. So right away I bounced to Bucharest. Iași is a place where I have family heritage, but it's not essential that I visit there right now. Bucharest, I've been here before, but I had told people for months following the protests here earlier this year that I covered that I would come back sometime this year. So yeah, I'm due. So it's a little more important that I come to Bucharest right now than Iași. That's an example of knowing your priorities. And I knew that priority, and it was in the back of my mind. So when I showed up in Chisinau, didn't waste any time, got from one bus station to another in order to find the buses to Romania, found that they have night buses to Bucharest, which works out well because I didn't lose any time overnight. Like, had I gone to Iași, I would have been stuck in a bus station or a train station at ridiculous hours like 2 to 5 a.m. or something like that, which would have been no fun. So I seized the night bus opportunity, came from Chisinau to Bucharest, and now I have a full day in Bucharest to hopefully meet people, upload some footage, get caught up on some work, and do that before heading back to Bulgaria. So, like I said, knowing your options is key, knowing your priorities is key. Of course, flexibility is key, but you got to know your priorities in order to be able to jump from one option to another. Flexibility in budget travel is huge. I'll talk about that in another video. It's amazing how much money you can save on flights if you're flexible about the times and dates you fly and the cities or airports you fly in and out of. You can save so much money. I've gotten so many cheap flights this year. But that I will save for another video. I hope you enjoyed this little impromptu tour of the old town in Bucharest. Sorry for the interruptions, or maybe you enjoyed the interruptions. I forget what this very nice looking building is. Bucharest has a lot of large and some say bland, but also fairly impressive buildings all around town. Kind of interesting architecture. All right, mulțumesc, thank you for watching. Goodbye, and if you indeed like videos like this, please let me know by leaving a like and comments. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the travel tips. Goodbye.